this type of city-defining project really takes a lot of effort to pull together. And if I go back to the beginning, it really started back in 2007 when our partner Ivanhoe Cambridge purchased the first piece of land for the 81 Bay site. Ivanhoe really had a vision at that time to not create just a single standalone building, but to really build a full project and a campus at the heart of downtown. So they spent a couple years assembling air rights and assembling land and negotiating agreement with Metrolinx to build the new bus terminal and also unlock the land where the existing bus terminal is. So we actually held an international architecture competition and invited 5 different architects to propose a scheme for this project, and we ended up selecting Wilkinson Eyre out of London. And really, what drew us to Wilkinson was their approach to the project as a whole and their view of the project as a campus and their approach to phasing it as well, because it's one thing to come up with the design, but it's very difficult to implement in this type of environment. One that's very close that I care very deeply about, which is the public park. So we are building a 1-acre park that'll be fully accessible to the public. Not only is it going to offer a breath of fresh air in the middle of downtown, but it's also going to have some very active programming. So every time people come to the space, there'll be something different going on, either farmers markets or yoga classes or music performances. So I think it'll be a very animated space that we're hoping will really become key to the downtown fabric. I'd say one of the ways we really focused on developing CIBC Square to be a workplace of the future is our focus on connectivity. And this is from both a transportation angle, so the project is located right next to Union Station. It's got a ton of path connections. It includes a bus terminal as well. So connectivity in terms of transportation has been central, but then also connectivity in terms of IT infrastructure. So the project is going to be Wired Score certified, which means it really has the best IT infrastructure available, not only for today, but also for future-proofing for in the future. So connectivity is a big piece of it. I'd say user wellness is another key focus of ours. So the building has really been designed from the inside out, so really focused on how the occupants of the building are going to feel inside of that building. And we've got things like a ton of natural light, 9.5 floor to ceiling clearance, which gives a lot more room and high focus on air quality as well. So all these kinds of things that really help improve the user wellness angle. And all of these things really come together to promote employee recruitment and retention. So we started construction back in June 2017. So we're just a little bit more than halfway through a 3-year construction schedule. And right now, if you look out the window, you'll see that our core is about at level 28. So there's 22 more levels to go. And the structural steel is about at level 15 now. So we've made a ton of progress, but we still have a long ways to go. So the first phase will be complete in the summer of 2020, and then the second phase, which is the 141 Bay Tower, will be complete in early 2024. We've got a great roster of just market-leading tenants. First and foremost, we have CIBC as our anchor tenant. CIBC is going to take up to 1.7 million square feet of space across the whole complex, so both in Phase 1, 81 Bay, and also in Phase 2, 141 Bay. And then on top of that, we've also have Microsoft, Boston Consulting Group, AGF Wealth Management, and some other tenants that have yet to be announced. The biggest challenge is that we need to schedule our work around the rail corridor operation hours. So the first priority is really moving the thousands of people that come into Union Station every day. And so what that means is we can really only do our construction pretty much between the hours of midnight and 5 a.m. And so it's it's really challenging to build overnight and to set up and take down all of our construction equipment every evening. But that's really just one piece on the construction side. I think where the real challenge has been on the resident side. So because we can only build really late at night, there's been some times where it's been very challenging in terms of noise and disturbances with our residents. So we've been trying to keep everyone as informed as possible and to do their best to mitigate these noises and these inconveniences. But there's really no other time that's available for us to build. So we're through the worst of it now, but it's definitely been a challenge.